morning, dear Mr. Dimitrov, Your Excellency, dear guests. It's a real pleasure to be here with you today on this so important topic, and I hope that the conference continues to expand every year until the moment when even the biggest conference rooms can't hold everyone interested in the topic. Because being green is not a whim. It's not something that we should talk about. It's really a responsibility for the future generations. And many of the things that we have to do today have implications for the next 10, 15, 20 years. And if we don't do what needs to be done, regardless of whether it's politically convenient or not, we will do a huge injustice to our cities, to our nations, and to the world as a whole if we collectively do not act today. And it's cities that really sit at the forefront of those efforts. As you mentioned, 70% of the emissions originate from cities. So we should be the ones that are most responsible towards the topic of what to do in order to have those green policies and to protect what we have been given by previous generations, and to be hopefully even more responsible about what we leave to our children. And in this respect, I'm very happy that Sofia joined the 100 net zero cities and embarked on a very ambitious program to cut its carbon emissions by 80% by 2035. And this encompasses a lot of efforts in different areas. One of them being transport, and we're very keen to learn from the success of cities like London and others who have been at the forefront of those efforts in terms of how to change the whole system and to incentivize more people to use public transport. We also have a goal to have most of the travel, 80% of the travels within the city to be by public transport or alternative means by 2040, which is quite ambitious from the 1 million cars or so that we have today in the city, but I imagine the ideal so that you end up with the optimal. You need ambitious goals, and we've secured a big investment program for the revamping of the fleet, for the extension of the metro, and for building an intelligent model that would allow us to tie all the pieces and hopefully give citizens a good reason to start using public transport, together with, of course, policies like low emission zones, congestion charges, and many others that we've seen work in other places. It might not be the right time to implement them now, but we have a clear roadmap of what needs to be done in the next decade or so. And as I said, my ambition is to do the right things in that respect, regardless of who wins the next election, who's in power, because this should be something that unites all of us. But public transport is one of our key priorities. The other one is partnering with the construction industry, because it's also a big generator of carbon emissions, leveraging new technologies, heightening the standards that we use, and ensuring that we make major progress in that respect as well. The third part is energy efficiency, and we have a number of efforts in that respect, from replacement of energy inefficient ways to heat homes to what we are doing in the public space and building to intelligent building management systems, solar energy generation on public buildings, insulation, and many other things that will also make further improvement. The other big topic for us is the protection and extension of the green systems of the city, extending the parks, protecting them, making major progress in terms of the river beds. As you know, Sofia has over 100 rivers. I learned that recently. I thought it were 30 or 40. It's over 100 rivers that we need to protect and also embed in our strategy in terms of preservation and using them in order to have cleaner air, in order to reduce the heat islands within the city. I also recently discussed another big focus of ours, and that's how to revamp the schoolyards, which provide a lot of area and which are mostly concrete and asphalt, and how to turn those into green oases where you have modern sports infrastructure, social infrastructure, and we turn every schoolyard into a park, again reducing the heat islands within the city. Another thing that is very central to us is how to rethink the whole waste management system and start thinking from waste to reusable material, and from trash to something that we can intelligently leverage and not have to fill the wasteland. And last but not least, it's the topic of waters, which Mr. Dimitrov is very aware of, and we have had a number of good discussions. This is one of the big assets of the city, and preserving our rivers, embedding them into the park system, connecting the mountain with the city, and using what nature has given us in an intelligent way can provide this wonderful opportunity for Sofia as not just a great place to live, a great place for investment, and to be one of the most livable cities, which is also full of opportunity for business. And this is one of the key things, that when we look at green, we think that it's something that costs a lot and doesn't lead to many results. As an investor, prior life, I can confidently say that it allows for a lot of opportunity. It can be very profitable. You just have to be a little bit more creative and go out of your ordinary ways. And to do so, we need to partner. That's the other thing that I learned. We will never achieve our net zero objectives, and we'll never be able to do what's right for the city if we don't partner. We don't partner with business, with academia, with all the other institutions. So I hope that today's conference will be yet another stepping stone towards that, to really see the long-term challenges, to see what we can do together, and not to leave that as just an empty manifesto, but rather as something very actionable that we're committed to in terms of implementing this policy, sticking to them, and doing the right thing for the future generations, even if it's very unpopular. Most of the things that matter, they change habits. And I haven't seen a single person willingly change their habits, especially on a 2 million person scale. So thank you for being here. I hope you have a really good event, and I'm looking forward to working with all of you when it comes to Sofia municipality. You know that you have a partner in terms of everything green and everything that gives our city a brighter